So we understand from various leaders how meditation has been of great help to them in all areas. We most certainly have seen in the last few days how meditation is working in all bodies. Our health, memory, intellect, spiritual quotient, ability to connect with others, social health, everything. So we'll understand from the business leaders how they have been benefiting from the meditation, their personal experiences. So I'm very happy to share that we have two accomplished leaders. I invite Esperanza Flores to say hi to all of you. Of course, we're going to share they're going to share after the meditation. Welcome SP Flores, who is a director at IBM. She is a business leader in IT segment and is handling a business unit. We'll learn more from her after meditation. Yes, could you like to share? Would you like to share? Hi.
Good morning, Chandra. Good morning to everybody. Thank you all for having me here.
Wonderful. Thank you, SP. Thank you so much for doing this for us. That's great. And then we have Mr. Ramesh Bafna, who has been with us during the past few sessions, but most certainly I thought he has a lot to share. So one who has been practicing for longer, another leader who is practicing, while they have known about meditation for long enough before perhaps, but practicing regularly now in the recent past, and then still having adequate and a reasonable amount of benefit in how they see it. And that's Mr. Ramesh Bafna, who some of you have heard him, who has been a successful businessman and managing director for construction, marble, and granite, some of those businesses that is running, in addition to doing various roles that we'll understand from Veena again post that. Ramesh.
Yeah, good morning, everybody. Hi, everybody. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to express myself, what I really feel about meditation and how meditation has helped me in this growth and development of my life.
Wonderful.
Thank you very much.
Sir. As we are into the weekend, it is a good idea to understand what if you don't do regular meditation happens. It's one of my favorite topics. Regularity in meditation. There's a good reason why we do this right in the beginning of the first week, right in the first week. It's also called rabbit meditation. Torquem Seradarian is one of the all-time great masters. He talks about this in one of his books. One must read Torquem Seradarian. Overall, it's an amazing master. For particularly beginners, otherwise, it's like taking, if you didn't do regular meditation for the next 6 weeks, and if you say you're only checking in once every now and then, today and then tomorrow is not there, day after, again the following day, not there, again day after, alternate days, 2 days, 3 days, but they're not come. It's still good that we are doing meditation. But however, if you're wanting to see the benefit, we're wanting to experience it fully, and then wanting to make the habit, we need to be regular. Maybe one day you can take a day off. I don't recommend that, but if somebody is looking for it. So the essential idea is, if we didn't do regularly, then we go 2 steps forward and come back either 1 or 2 steps backward when we miss those meditation sessions initially. We all have various limiting factors some of the beliefs, some of the attachments, cravings, glamours, assumptions, fanaticism. All of those are there. Before coming into meditation, one may feel, I'm great with my community. One may feel, yes, I'm like a business leader, I'm special. I'm the leader in my organization, I'm special. That I expect everyone around me to give me that natural respect, not gain the respect, but expect the respect. Because the environment, of course, has made it like this. We may not have intended, but environment is making us, influencing us. Now, during the 6 weeks, I'm sure, and then as we go into the next week, and the next go into the next week, and then next, as we go every day, we are learning something, which is telling us we are different than that. There isn't any separation. There isn't any difference between your community and my community, your religion, my religion. Small things to big things. The body has cravings. When you regularly meditate, it is trying to adjust and then bring it down. Now we stop meditating. So one day you do, another day you stop. One day you do, another day you stop. So whatever the body is trying to do, or the mind is, or the meditation is trying to do to the body, the mind, all the limiting factors that we are trying to eliminate slowly are keep coming back again and again, right? The beliefs that are programmed in subconscious will understand how the brain works, but the more times we repeat, the more bigger, the stronger that connection is. And then to make that connection weaker, it takes time. Every day when meditation, we are softening and softening and softening and loosening it. And so finally we can break that limiting factor belief because it is ingrained into our subconscious again over a period of time. It doesn't happen unless it's a traumatic experience. And so irregular meditation, we're trying to soften it. And then you do one day, you don't do another day. So it becomes strong again because we do those, whatever those limiting factors, we exhibit it. When you exhibit it, it goes and makes a connection. When you don't exhibit it, it is there. And then weakening is where the glue is removed, but then here you're adding it, strengthening it back again when you don't do regular meditation. So the limiting factor that you're trying to avoid will keep coming back. I'm sure in the last 6 days, and then it'll happen even more intensified next week when you go into how meditation helps health to be gained, memory positive increase, and some of this knowledge as we learn and as we practice, will be more inspired. We will be inspired about this higher wisdom. Yes. Why am I thinking like this about my colleague? Okay, well, if something happened, something failure on my business happened some time ago, so why should I be thinking about brooding over it again? I have to get over it. I have to get past it. So we are inspired to do some higher purpose, higher thing, something better than what we were thinking before. And when you're not regular, that inspiration that we gain in these sessions will slowly again fade away. So today we're inspired, tomorrow we don't come, it fades away because everything has to get recorded. So the inspiration, that higher inspiration, higher thinking that we are bringing goes away. Observe it. If you read a book, you observe everything about the book for a few days after you finish the book, it'll be there in your mind, fresh, active. Those ideas are inspiring us. If it's a book inspiring, then ideas inspire us. Slowly, so they wane away, right? After 4 or 5 days, slowly, whatever that we read about the book goes away. Now, if you take a break for another 4 weeks on the topic, slowly then what happens? Then we might forget about them. That inspiration comes down. So we are regular. So this program of 6 weeks is made so that we are regular to ingrain whatever we are learning, because there's a lot of repetition that we make so that we actually learn faster and learn for longer term. So the higher inspiration that we are gaining, we again gets a reset. Then the third thing, along with this, when you are highly inspired, for example, people make, hey, this is great. I have to introduce this to my school children. I have to introduce my family members because I'm already seeing some benefit. I'm hearing from so many people that meditation transforms. And we get this higher inspiration. So then when you make that decision, the consciousness is always paying attention. It is aware, is always paying attention. So what you seek is seeking you. So when we make the decision and say, you are an influential position, yes, I want to do this. I want to implement, call my principal tomorrow. If you're an educationalist and say, get a meditation session organized. So you have this inspiration, you're wanting to do something. Now, when we are trying to do, then this intelligence, consciousness is also paying attention, so is wanting to work with you. So it starts communicating. We get those messages we're talking about. We get those messages either in meditation or outside. The intelligence is trying to communicate with us. Our dreams will start. If you become irregular about meditation, then those cluttered dreams will come back to cluttered dreams again. The message slowly again starts stopping them, because the intelligence also looking at it saying, when you're not regular, so some of that will stay away, stop. We are already inspired, and then we are trying to do, the intelligence is conspiring in every way possible to make it happen for us, and that too also slowly goes away. It's like this: if you are a professor and then there are students, if there are two students and both of them come to you and then both of them are showing lots of interest, what do? You are of course going to give back, right? You want to work with them. Now if one student comes and goes regular, then I say, okay, so he's also be like that, so how much ever I tell, he's not even able to make a sincere attempt. So the professor is going to pull back a bit, right? Nothing against them, just pull back. It's exactly the same thing. The intelligence is also paying attention closely, and then it pulls back a step back and says, okay, when the student is ready, I'm ready. I will be ready. When the student is ready, the teacher appears. So I'm going to wait for him or her to come back to me again. So this is the third thing. And a body, of course, we are disciplining. We are disciplining a body. We are waking up at 6 o'clock. Many of you are waking up probably 5 or 5:30. Get ready for the session and then joining. So there is a discipline of the body happening. The willpower of the body is increasing. And then some of that again we'll lose. We do one step forward, one step backward. So all those disciplining of the body slowly lose out when we miss regularity. We try this out. So on many counts, dear friends, where we have started on this mission, that Igna is doing some activity for a few days sustained, then why not we take regularity into our life for the next 6 weeks at least, and then thereafter, of course, you get to make your own choice based on, because it's the exploration period, experimentation period. So we say regularity is very important. 5 to 6 days at least, and all 7 days is the best. 2 times a day is even more best. And the more we do this meditation, the more the meditation is going to help us support in this process of being regular. Make a commitment. The best way is the nature of our reality is that when we give a word out, then it is very difficult for us to break it. When we give a word out, it's very difficult for us to break it, because always poking inside and say, hey, you committed. Why are you not able to do it? So make an announcement to your family, your friends, and say, every day I'm going to be there at 6 o'clock, no matter what. Commit to yourself, make an announcement, post it. This is the only thing you got to do as a list of things. And then when we go through this mindfulness meditation for 6 weeks, afterwards, everything else becomes so easy. We become very regular in many other things because the awareness gets developed. Commit to yourself. There is this biological clock that is there. So commit to yourself, make an announcement about regularity. Say, next 40 days, no matter what, I'm going. But first, we have to decide. If in our mind that, okay, I have this shift, I have this meeting, those days I've got this party, the moment we ourselves exclude it, then automatically what we ask for is what we create, right? So that's how it is. It's about prioritization. Because I know that many of my colleagues, many other people who have said, the moment I committed to this, Automatically, my system is organizing itself. The meetings gets canceled, the event gets postponed, or whatever that is. But the universe is conspiring to make it happen, including attending this program too, dear friends. So regularity, anyway, we are spending all 6 weeks. So why not make full use of it and then make it a real habit? So with that, shall we go into our meditation once again? Relax yourself. Sit comfortably. Those of you who are new, we are doing breath mindfulness meditation. Our goal is to empty the mind, thousands of thoughts, and we empty the mind by observing a normal, natural breath. Very simple. We do 3 things for the posture. Sit comfortably where you are, cross-legged with legs over ankle, left or right, right or left, doesn't matter. Fingers into fingers. Rest your hands comfortably in your lap. So keep your hands in your lap comfortably. And eyes closed, specs removed. So that's the posture. Eyes closed, specs removed, fingers into fingers, crossing your feet. 3 things. That's the posture. And then we take any point on the nose and observe. Take any point on the nose anywhere. Observe. Breath is going in and coming out. Going in, coming out. As you observe, breath becomes lighter, shorter. It might start here, but ultimately it'll end up being oscillating and ultimately become empty. Slowly, it becomes empty. And as the breath is becoming lighter, shorter, our mind is also becoming empty. That's the equation. And then as the breath is becoming lighter, shorter, mind is becoming empty. Finally, there'll be a point where we don't even recognize that we are even breathing, or we forget that we're observing the breath. Either way, we would have gone into an empty state of mind, which is what we experience as emptiness. There'll be guidance. So just follow the guidance. That emptiness where there is no body, no thing, no place, no time. I guide that way. Because when you don't have any thoughts, that means we don't really become aware of any of those things that we know of. So that's the idea of this breath mindfulness meditation. And then before going into the meditation, we do something called heart elevation. Just follow my guidance actively. The crux of the process is to relive a moment from your life of any heightened emotion called love, gratitude, compassion, adventure, kindness, care, any of those emotions which make us one with somebody else or something else, like nature, like animals, like people, right? Whatever that makes us one with the nature, the existence, is this heightened emotion. And then you relive a moment from your life and then have that emotion, bring out that emotion and be with it for some time. It could be from the past, or those of you doing your manifestations, you could bring up an emotion from your future as if it's happening for you right now in your life. And then fill up that emotion of gratitude and love and then feel it. That helps us to become empty our mind quite faster. With that, relax yourself. With your eyes closed, dear friends, sit comfortably. Wonderful. Invite our business guest leaders and speakers today. So, Veena, can you invite?
Very good morning to everyone who is meditating here. Myself, Veena, I'm from Bangalore. I've been meditating for past 4 months. It gives me great pleasure to welcome Esperanza Flores. Esperanza Flores has been associated with IBM for 22 years. She has had numerous leadership roles leading up to her current role as Cloud Migration and Modernization Director for the Americas, Canada, US, and Latin America. SP Flores has been married for 17 years to her husband, Dr. Bernardo Flores. She is the proud mother of 3 beautiful daughters. SP loves to stay active with the girls as they all love sports. SP has been introduced 2 years ago to mindfulness meditation in IBM through Lawrence. Although she has room to grow in the mindfulness space, she has started her journeys on and is already seeing many benefits both professionally and personally. I welcome you, SP Flores.
Thank you, Shatal. Thank you all for having me here today. Good morning to everybody. It's a Friday evening for me, so I'm happy to be with you all tonight and be able to share with you all my mindfulness journey. Finding mindfulness has been a game changer for me. I am a go-getter. I like to accomplish many things. I'm a true believer, if you start something, you finish something. And in the process, I try to do it as perfectly as I can. the obsessive compulsiveness of that side of the perfectionism has been a source of stress for me for many, many years. When I was single and living on my own, I think that the height of the perfectionism, didn't affect anybody else but myself. But then you fast forward several years, I have a career now, I'm married, and I have three daughters. I was stressed. I wanted to do it all. I slept very little as I was always trying to get things done. And this went on for many, many years for me. As Shital stated, in Laurence's organization about 4.5 years ago. And the first thing that caught my attention was how calm she was. And this was a constant in the midst of change or the midst of constant business pressures. So I observed her, and often I observed her, wondering how she handled it all. I didn't know anything about her personal life, what she practiced, or anything else, but I just saw how well she kept her composure at all times. And then she had introduced the whole concept of mindfulness to the business. And on several occasions, about 2 years ago, she took the initiative to share with me her story and to personally talk to me about what this had done for her on both the personal level as well as the professional. So we talked about how it changed and the benefits and how she was practicing. All this sounded great, but I was still not convinced. I attended a few mindfulness sessions, and I have to say that even though I was calm during the session, my OCD kept thinking of all the things I had to get done, where the state of the business was. And then for this very busy mother, did I really have time to fit this into the hecticness of my day? So I, like, many changes in our lives, I started small. I said, okay, I'm going to download a mindfulness meditation application on my phone, and I'm going to try to give it a shot every once in a while. And I downloaded the app Calm, and it was okay. I said, okay, I'll give it a try. Some days it was at the start of my day, at others, it was the end of my day. I just try to squeeze it in wherever you could. And I think one of the things that resonated at the beginning of the talk was, when it was mentioned that you have to do something consistently to see the benefits of it. So although everything was a bit sporadic at the beginning, it started to become routine for me. And I found it that after a long work day, it was a treat for me to practice it. And I did it sitting in my vehicle, waiting for my kids to be done with practice. They had an hour practice. Usually I was either checking email or looking at homework assignments or doing something. And so I found it that this was a really good opportunity for me to, this was my time to be me, to breathe, to reflect, to be grateful. So I continued to do it over and over. 1 week turned into a month turned into a couple months. And what I've learned is that it can happen anywhere. It can also be fit into our busy schedules, and we can practice it in the most uncommon places. And so that's how I came into it. How did this change? What did this change for me? So in March, the pandemic hits the world, and I found myself at home with three kids, working full time as an IT executive and a house to keep up. And I felt a lot of the times it was on my own because it was during the workday. My husband would come home at night, but by that time I was exhausted. And so I think that's really when the consistency kicked in for me of wanting to do this, of wanting to have this time to calm myself, to ground myself, to breathe. So I think of myself, I think of the old SB and what would I have done during this pandemic had I not found mindfulness and meditation, I would have said, I can't keep up. I can't do it all, and even if I did some, it wouldn't have been satisfying for me because I was a perfectionist. I wanted everything to be 100%. With but with this positive mindset that comes through mindfulness and meditation, I was able to see that I could do it and recognize that it can all be done on a best as best we could. My husband, the kids all chipped in, and we were cleaning the house together. We were getting homework done together. We were cooking meals together. So everybody chipped in and to the best of their abilities. And I learned to listen and observe and be grateful for what contributions that they could provide and that it didn't have to be 100%. We got the job done together. And I think about it, it's been 9 months in our new normal. My girls are flourishing with distance learning. They're all getting, really great grades. We're eating more home cooked meals, healthier meals. We're doing more family activities together. Part of this, I think meditation has also spun in me a longing to go on long walks around the neighborhood or go biking with the kids. That's also helped us to get healthier and keep our bodies strong during this time. Another thing that I found, as I'm learning this and trying to pass it on to my children, is that we've incorporated, for the girls, a meditation nighttime routine. We've added the relaxing music. We talk slow, gently and calmly about our days. We breathe together. And I feel it's helped us really sleep and wake up happier. Our family seems to be closer and we're enjoying our time together. On a side note, and I told Laurence I would say this, and it's a bit funny story to share with all of you. My husband is a doctor of psychology. His profession lives and breathes mindfulness and meditation, and he sees the benefits of this in his line of work every single day. He himself practices mindfulness meditation, but he does it in a more spiritual sense. So that's the beauty that I find as well with the mindfulness and meditation, is that we all find that version of mindfulness and meditation that works for each one of us. He also uses it at work as he works with veterans to help cope with addictions or post-traumatic stress disorders. And he always, talks to me about the benefits that he sees, or the changes that he sees when his vets practice mindfulness. So he had always told me, let's do this, let's do some mindfulness together, let's do some meditation. And I had 3 young kids. I was trying to juggle work, and I was trying to juggle the house chores and everything else in between. And I would tell him, I don't have time. Who does that anyway? I always felt overwhelmed. I always thought, well, he has time to do it because the kids are always coming to mom. And then, well, in come Laurence and mindfulness at IBM. Yes, IBM. And I spoke to him recently about how I felt it was helping me during this pandemic. And the look on his face was priceless. And he says, oh, Laurence tells you about mindfulness and you listen, but I've been telling you about mindfulness for years and you didn't want to listen. So also the moral of the story is change happens when it's meant to be. We have to be ready to accept and embrace it on our own terms when we're ready to really commit. And I think that was a message that was given early on as well. From a professional perspective, I've also seen changes in my professional life. I was a workaholic. I felt I needed a checklist and I needed to get it all done and I needed to do it on my own. If somebody wasn't doing what they were supposed to, it was like, okay, no problem, I'll get it done. Often I ended up my work days with a migraine, stress headaches, no energy, at times in a bad mood, not ready to engage with my family. Mindfulness has helped me handle the work stress and make needed changes to be a better leader. It's allowed me to have a strong growth mindset. I see the challenges as opportunities. It became a source of excitement to tackle on a change versus dreading it. I'll give you an example. We've gone through some resource and organization challenges that most companies go through. Not easy for people to accept. You know, a lot of times my team comes to me, what are we going to do? How do we keep the morale of the team up? You know, but these are things that must be done. And I told them this is where leaders flourish. The growth mindset kicked in for me. I pulled my leadership team together, gave them that hard talk, that pep talk. And I said, this isn't going to be easy, but this is the IT world. So let's put our thinking caps on. We could either let it bring us down and interrupt us from getting the job done, or we can do something about it. And so I told them, I want to acknowledge the hard part of this challenge, but then we put that aside and we focus on the positive. We respond to a situation, not react to it. So what I did is I said, okay, let's put 3 negative things and acknowledge them and put them to the side. And then let's focus on 3 positive things. And that's what we do to, to respond to the situation. So we did, and it's really changed, how my team has perceived some of the challenges in the recent days. I'm able to also delegate and hold others accountable to get the job done. I enjoy not only leading the team, but also mentoring and coaching the team. I feel like I've become a better mentor and coach because I've become more empathetic, aware of everybody's emotions, and strengthen my ability to just listen to them. And especially given all the challenges that people are facing at home today. I've always believed that even some small thing that we show to care for our teams, our coworkers, but not just as coworkers, as human beings, makes a huge difference in how they come to work. It helps us build a strong sense of teaming. Our company continues to support mindfulness, and I'm so excited to see it. I traveled not too long ago before the pandemic. I was traveling a bit, and it was in Latin America. And it was so awesome to see as I rode up the elevator or as I was getting a cup of coffee, the mindfulness posters, on how it's spreading and really changing, how our teams are, taking care of themselves to be better at work and at home. I started within my team a Mindfulness Fridays when the pandemic kicked off. And the feedback from the team, especially many of those who had not practiced it before, was so great that I decided to take it up a notch. And I took it to the broader organization. And I said, here's what I'm doing with my team. We're doing our Mindful Fridays, but we also threw some fun and said, hey, why don't we also showcase our talents? And so between the mindful and the showcasing of our talents or sharing with each other, maybe something more personal, just to kind of start off our Friday as we went into the weekend, really helped develop a sense of teaming. And I got feedback from people from Canada to the US to Latin America to India, where they said, even though we're so far apart, we feel so connected. And so when I took it to the broader organization, they've embraced the Mindful Fridays, and they've actually moved it to Mindful Mondays because they want us to start our week, centered, strong with that positive mindset, as we go tackle our jobs during the week. So the last message that I want to leave with you, that it's our job as leaders to help those around us to have the growth mindset, develop that success skill. And I truly believe that with mindfulness and meditation, we can achieve it. Thank you.
Thank you, Esperanza. That's wonderful. Your experience, that what started as potentially getting over that OCD, the compulsive disorder, who doesn't have it? All career oriented, most of us, when we're career oriented, I used to be that too. Always want to be perfectionist, make it absolutely perfect. And so unknowingly, we create so much stress for ourselves. And what started as that, and then another very beautiful transformation that you saw, where with the pandemic time, the amount of time, all that good things they talked about, your family, their husband and kids, practicing more. And I loved the story that you talked about being creative in the tough times, and then adversities are coming all the time, but staying on the positive is what's the distinction between success and failure, right? In adversities is where we give up, but then you came up with that creative solution that let's stay focused on the positives, and then you're able to move the team inspired, even those adverse time of where you're having to do resource actions. That's wonderful. Thank you so much for giving those messages. Can
Thank
we
you.
invite? Thank you so much for that. Can you invite Veena can introduce Ramesh Bafnaji.
Mr. Ramesh Chanmal Bafna is a businessman from Coimbatore, India. He was in the business of dealing and exporting construction materials with a special emphasis on marbles and granites. He is the promoter of Mount Housing and Infrastructure Limited, a public limited company. Presently, he is in the real estate promotion with various high-end luxury projects at Coimbatore and Chennai for the past 15 years. He was also responsible for setting up one of the world's leading granite and stone company, Mont Granite, in USA with operations at multiple locations. He has been the president of Confederation of Real Estate Developers Authority of India for Tamil Nadu. He has been associated with Rotary clubs and Mediana organizations. Ramesh Bafna has 2 decades of experience in efficient planning and meticulous execution of the finest in residential architecture. Mr. Ramesh Bafna took to regular practice of meditation for the past 6 months. He is inspired and associated with Buddha CEO Quantum Foundation to take meditation to students and youth. He is driving the youth programs for the foundation along with Mr. Balasundram, primarily in the Tamil Nadu region. I welcome you, sir.
Thank you, Veena, for the introduction. Thank you, Veena and Chandra sir. Before I really talk about the benefits I have out of meditation, I thought I'd just give a brief of my life. My life has been like a roller coaster, ups and downs, and too many variations. I was born in one of the most respected and wealthiest family in our community, and saw all the luxuries of life. But the destiny had something else for me. When I was doing my final year of my graduation, at the age of 20, my father, who was 42, passed away, and I had to give up my education. Those days I was just planning for my higher education to go to US, and was preparing for that, but had to give up my studies and join my family business because my father passed away at the age of 42. He was just 42 when he passed away. And I had to take over my father's business, and absolutely no clue of what business was, how I should take things forward. He had businesses at various locations, branches all over India. And I did not know who my managers were, who the partners my father had. No idea of what things were really happening in business. And trying to understand what things and how things can be taken forward in 3-4 years' time, I think we lost everything in the business, and I was in a great debt. And that was the time when I was really in a dilemma how I should go about. The thought came to my mind that I should finish my life. This is the end of it. It's not worth living like this. And as I was talking to one of my father's friend, he said, "Why don't you start your own business? Forget what has happened." I'll support you, and I'll give you goods on credit. Sell the goods, sell the material. That is marble and granite. We were into textile earlier, totally left textile, got into marble and granite, and slowly make your living. So I started off with that, and with a lot of hard work and probably day and night of work, almost 18 hours or 20 hours of work is what I used to put in, and made a good success out of it. We had in about 5 years' time, I was able to take the business to a level where we are one of the biggest marble dealer in whole of south of India, and we even started export, participated in a lot of exhibitions and fairs internationally, all over the world. Started 3 warehouses in US, one in Cleveland, one in Pittsburgh, and one in New Jersey. Huge warehouses, and very successful. That was done along with my family members. And almost after a decade of this marble and granite business, there was once the wealth is built, there's a lot of confusions in the family. Probably the wealth is one which comes with a lot of negativity also. Or probably we didn't know how to manage things. And the confusions were that everybody wanted to be separate, and a lot of internal politics, and the way things were happening was somehow not satisfying me. So I just gave up things. I just left everything to my family members and just got out of it, and decided that let me not get into this dirty way of handling things to partition in the family, for the partition in the family. So I just gave up and just came out. For almost 2 years, I had no business in hand, nothing, sitting idle and trying to get an opportunity of business where I could. I did not want to take the same business of marble and granite, since it was all given to my family members, and I didn't want to do the same business. So there came an opportunity of real estate, started real estate, was quite successful, and I am still quite successful in real estate. But again, I was into the real high-end residential apartments and villas. And the high-end villas and apartments, the high-end real estate was past 2-3 years has not been doing that great. And when I was at the peak, I decided, let me retire from business, give the business to my children, and get into more of a social service, and get into more of charitable work, where I could give back to the society which has given me so much, give back to the community which has given me so much. And I decided to work more towards the benefit of the society and the needy people. Somehow, the business, due to the pandemic and the various, the RARA, the GST, and the demonetization, real estate business was not doing that great. So in the meantime, I had taken over as a president of one of the education institutions, which has about 6,000 students, 3,000 in school and 3,000 in college. And I even started one more education, a CBSE education institution. So there are 4 institutions in this particular area where I took over as the president. And I was in a dilemma whether I should give more time to my business, give up my charitable work, or give up the institutions which I had taken over as to develop and take it forward to the next levels. I was really not able to decide what I should do and how I should take things forward. It was not possible for me. I never thought that it will be possible for me to do all the things together. So I thought, let me focus on one thing and give up all the other things that is there. Either I give up my business
and leave it to my children, or continue with the presidentship of the institutions, develop the institutions, or follow my passion of doing charity and helping the needy. And at that stage, at the age of 60, I took over as the president. And at 63, I decided I should get back into the business, because that was my requirement in the business was much higher. And for me, I thought business is more important. I can always do the charity work later. It was almost a big confusion and a commotion going into in my mind. And fortunately for me, I came to know about this Buddha CEO Quantum Foundation meditation, and through few of my Rotary friends, and SVB also had sent a message to me saying that, why don't you join this? He had sent it in our Rotary group. So this is the third 40-day session I'm attending. The first 40-day session was not regular. Here and there I used to attend and just take things easy, but somehow I felt that the first few days of the 40-day session which I attended was bringing a lot of clarity into my thoughts. The confusions which I had was getting some clarity within me. The second 40-day session, the second session of 40 days of the breath mindfulness meditation, I attended the entire 40 days, and I could see miracles happening. I could get a lot of clarity on what I really wanted to do. Earlier it was like 3 out of 1 what I should take it. And I was not able to know what I should really do. Then I decided, why not all the 3? Earlier I was thinking only 1 I should do, not all the 3. It is impossible for me to attend to all the requirements of the 3 different options that I had. Then I thought, why not all the 3? And slowly I thought, let me get into the groove of all the 3 of it at a time and see how it works. And it did miracles. Everything was working fine. And everything was, I could follow my passion. I could do the charity work. I could do the institution work as well as my business, and attend to everything at a time with proper focus, proper dedication. Earlier, it was like I was forcing myself to do the job. Now I'm doing the same job with a lot of pleasure and a lot of satisfaction in that. And that's amazing. It's not alone the 3, the 4th one also, which I wanted to try it out from my childhood. That is I wanted to learn music. And I thought, I never found time for it. And I thought, let me do that once I retire, might be after 60 or 65, whatever. And I started my music classes also. So it's not alone the 3. The 4th one also, what I was wanting to do right from my childhood is turning into a reality. It's all because of the clarity of thoughts which came to me due to this, the meditation and the calmness of the mind. I was able to focus myself. I was able to get more clarity on things. I was able to really think what and how I should take things forward. It's thanks to Buddha CEO who really, and thanks to SVB sir who really brought me into this meditation program. I've been a meditator for almost 10 years now, more than 10 years rather, but not a regular one. I've been to various meditation centers. I was a strong follower of Osho, nationally as well as internationally. I've been to a lot of Osho camps, 10-day sessions, 21-day sessions, 27-day sessions. Long sessions I've been, but not a regular meditator. It was more of a, I could say, the passion that I was following, and not the real. Off and on there was break, and I never realized that meditation could do so much to me. I took meditation as just to calm my mind and have a peace of mind. But now I realize it's something beyond that. Meditation is beyond that, and I'm able to really take things forward the way I want. And one other example I would like to quote here is during this difficult time of business, and especially after the pandemic, it's further gone down. I was thinking, why not get into something which requires less capital and which I could take more easily, which does not require more of my risk that is to be taken in the business. Because real estate is something where once we put our money, we just cannot take it out. It's unless you sell that particular product, or it cannot be moved from one place to the other place. It's fixed on the ground, not like a mobile phone which you can sell it to somebody or take it to some other store and sell it. It has to be there. So, which I was just not wanting to take a big risk in the business because things were not that great, and we are already with huge stocks in our hand, built up areas which we are not able to sell at present because it's all high-end luxury segment, and the high-end luxury segment in real estate is the most hit. So I was in one of the manifestations, I was just thinking that I should get into the plotted development, that is layouts. But I didn't have the capital to invest into the land and do the plotted development. So I just proposed one fine morning, in fact, one of my friends came for a dinner and he wanted to sell the land, which he had a big chunk of land, almost 50 acres. He wanted to sell that. And I just proposed him that why not you go, we join together and do a plotted development. That will fetch you a better price. In fact, it will be a great business joint venture for us. And I just proposed him offhand. It was not with the intention of with the intention of getting into partnership with him. And a few days later, he called me back that Ramesh, why don't you come down? I just would like to discuss with you about the joint venture, what you were mentioning. And I went, and within hours, we just sat for almost about 1.5 hours and discussed about over the terms, and the deal was concluded. It is one of the fastest deals that I was concluded in a very short period. Within an hour, the deal was concluded, almost 50 acres of land. 50 acres is nothing, the project would be nothing less than about 100 to 120 crores. This is what was concluded within an hour. And one which I was manifesting that I should get into is really happened by itself. It's a miracle. It's a miracle. I've heard of miracles, but I've seen miracles happening now. I would give the full credit to the meditation and the thought process that I could get due to the meditation. These are few of my experiences. And one other experience that I had, I just proposed in one of the meditation classes that why don't we take this meditation program to the students. It was proposed with the idea to take the program to my college or my institutions, where I thought about 100, 150, 200 students might join. But I was just thinking of this and manifesting how I should take it forward in one of the sessions, and a thought came to me that why not did we take it to the mosque? And the next day when I was on the meditation class, Chandra sir proposed, why don't we take it to a larger level, not limit ourselves to your institution. Let us take it to the larger student community. And to my surprise, we almost had about 6,000 registrations for the first session itself, which was fantastic. It was a great feeling that what we manifest and think of it really happens, and that's, I call it, miracle happening. So this is my experience, and with this, I think.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much,
Ramesh. That's wonderful. Dear friends, I think Rameshji summed it up. Meditation, initially we think it is only for a peace of mind or health or this and that. But meditation actually, when you realize and when we move from limited to unlimited, we go from ordinary to miraculous life. That's really what I'm hearing from Rameshji. Certainly, he's been a self. He is a self-made business leader and has gained a lot of that strength over the period. But then after meditation, I'm so glad that he's producing miracle after miracle, and then he's producing miracles not for himself now by creating this awareness to various graduating students. They're all going to be very grateful to you, sir, in taking this forward to so many hundreds and hundreds of youth and students. And we move very quickly beyond our initial needs of health getting better, mind getting controlled, stress getting relieved. These all become secondary. But for all of us, as business leaders, as aspiring leaders, or anybody, that clarity, and then leading to aligning to the purpose becomes so important to feel that I'm living my life meaningfully. And that's essentially what happens with meditation. One, we gain that so much clarity, and then you saying that I am able to get to know exactly what I want to do, and then that is nothing but pursuing all three. Richard Bach says in his book, we're never given a thought unless we have the capability to experience it. Just the thought. We are never given a thought unless we have the capability to experience it. Nothing is random. Anything is coming to you. Even if it comes to you that I become president of India, so be it. And it is there. It is there that you are ready for it. The capability is there. Now you have to work for it, though. If we think limited, and then we're going to simply put it aside. But when we become unlimited, when we become open to the possibilities, being in this meditation, getting in touch with this quantum field every day, then we start opening up and then start thinking about it, working for it. It's going to come our way. So we're never given a thought unless we are ready for it. That's the nature of consciousness. And so I'm so glad that you also started music. So not only you carrying what you thought about, but then you're doing more things. Now, along with the music, you added this program for youth. We have millions and millions of youth graduating in India. And then so we need to take it to as many people. So thank you, Ramesh, for sharing your wonderful.
I'll just take a minute of yours. In fact, I believe the heart elevation was introduced by you, and probably it is your research and which has brought it is discovered by you, rather. The same way I discovered one other thing, that whenever I go to the meeting, I have decided hereafter, and I have been practicing that, and it's doing miracles. I go 5 minutes early, just calm my mind, close my eyes for few minutes, and might be out of the few minutes, few seconds or few moments only, I'm able to calm my mind. And that meeting is more effective to me than the meetings that I've been conducting for almost 40 years now. I've been the thought process, the weeks and months and days and hours of planning what we do, and the effect of the few seconds, that instant decisions that are taken, is much, much better than the various thoughts that we have been, the various actions that we have been thinking of, or for hours together, what we have been planning. The implementation is much better, which are instant in the meeting, and which comes because of the your mind getting calm, or just preparing yourself for the meeting with the calmness.
Thank
It really
you.
works. It does wonders.
Absolutely.
At least to me, it has done wonders.
Thank you so much, dear friends. Thank you so much, Ramesh. It's wonderful sharing. And then we kicked off our business leader segment with excellent sharing by SP Floors and Ramesh Bafna. Thank you, SP. Ma'am, this your sharing is awesome. Young leader, you've taken it all. That clarity, getting over this compulsion, the wanting to become perfectionist. We let go, and I think implementing that positivity, being in adverse situations, taking it in a positive way. And you've been doing fabulous job in IBM. I was told by Lawrence that you introduced meditation to several of them, so that's awesome. That's our goal too. As Buddha Zero Quantum Foundation, we team up and then take it in as many areas to business leaders and aspiring leaders. So that's our goal. And it'll be great to team up with you in wherever you are in that community to take this forward. Thank you all. Okay. Yes.
Good morning to all. Good morning, sir. I have a few questions. I'm a civil engineer and I'm an artist as well. So I'm able to easily migrate, move myself to the sky. I always get orange and yellow colors, and also have a soul of white light in this in my sense. And moreover, I'm able to stay there for a longer period as well. And I do not know. My tears roll down my eyes. I do not know. Is it a natural thing, or is it a thing? I have some question on that. I'm unable to control it, but tears roll down from my eyes,
Yes.
even in the close stage.
Please don't control it. Please don't control it, because that's the natural phenomena of meditation, where the tears are coming out of joy, I suppose, for you. Or
Okay.
it could be if you feel happy or feel sad when the tears come.
Pardon, sir, come again.
Do you feel happy or do you feel sad? Do you feel
I
happy?
feel happy only. I feel happy
Happy.
only.
Either is fine.
Okay.
Sometimes the emotions which are suppressed will come out, so people feel sad about it. So a lot of times there's an ecstasy that's coming out because you're becoming one. First time you're realizing
Okay.
your greaterness of you, which is
Okay.
expressed as a feeling of that expansive feeling. And so
Okay.
we can't hold it. So then it comes through our body as a first reaction is the tears. Right?
Thank you.
Many of us cannot hold it. When something great happens, we can't hold it. Why do we just suddenly bring up tears? Because something great also we can't hold it. Right? The body just cannot hold it.
Yeah.
We don't even expect that we were worthy of receiving so much, and we receive so much in meditation. And as a result, tears come as the first thing, because
Okay.
we never always limited ourselves thinking that, okay, we're not that super, but we are that super intelligent. So that's why it is always a great feeling. Let it go. Continue to experience it, and slowly over a period, it'll get set.
Okay.
As we
Thank you.
realize that we are much larger than what we think, so it'll get set slowly. Okay.
Okay.
And colors, visions, they're all very common. They're great experiences. Colors and visions that we are seeing initially starts with colors, and then for some those then graduate to some kind of visions potentially. Nothing is predictable, right? But they're parts of meditation experience. Do read that book. Meditation is easy,
Okay.
and there are 2 pages about experiences, and can read that, right? If you read Art and Science of Meditation by Dr. Newton, it has about 30 or 40 pages of listing our experiences. It's a great way to understand more and more. When we understand more, then we can actually explore more. We feel like exploring more. That's why. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
They both look so great when there. Nice to see you both meditating. Okay.
Thank you so much,
Thanks.
sir.
Thanks. Thank you.
Meena Josh.
Yes, Meenaji. I like it every time you ask a question, I share something.
Hi, this is Meena Joyshar. Today I don't have a question, I have a comment. It was a wonderful, wonderful sharing by both business leaders. Ms. Florence, that was wonderful. Like what she said really, really resonated with me, especially bringing it to little kids. My granddaughter has started doing this, like the way Miss Florence was saying, like little breathing, little meditation kind of a thing, like a nightly routine. Since she was 3 and now she's 10, and we see amazing benefits of that. So excellent message to even introduce at a very small level to little kids. And Bafna ji, I just wanted to tell you, please never ever think of retiring. You have amazing ideas and the world of wisdom. Oh my God. I mean, world, we need you. World needs all that. So don't think of retiring. Excellent sharing. Thank you.
No, retirement, not from life, but retirement from business to serve the community, serve the needy. That was the idea.
Yes.
Excellent. Thank you.
Thank you, Meera. That's great. Yes, I know. I really loved both of the sharing. Yes, we have Dr. NC sir. Yes.
Again, not a question. Wow. Congratulations to Ramesh. I think more than anything, never give up the attitude had helped you a lot, which had probably come out of meditation. And,
yeah, exactly. It came out of meditation. True.
It came out of meditation. And DRK sir used to say, nothing is impossible. So nothing is impossible if you have the willpower. So I have two slogans. That is, never give up and nothing is impossible. You have made both together. This is a great inspiration for the youngsters who get, depressed, or rather nothing is happening in my life. I'm unfortunate. I'm not blessed by God. So all these things will go away by listening to your speech. So no questions. Great. And it's going to benefit all the youngsters who have listened to you. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Hello, Chandra.
Glad.
Yes, sir. That's great. I'm
Chandra,
glad. Yes, sir.
Wonderful today. Amazing. Both SP Flores and of course Ramesh also.
Yes,
What great inspirational real life stories. Amazing. Amazing. That lady with OCD, 3 daughters, doctor husband, and how gracious and calm she is. And Ramesh also, the stories are put on roller coaster. But see what he is doing now. Amazing. These are all great stories, inspirational stories.
Yes, sir. Thank
Yeah,
you.
Thank you.
I'm tempted to come on the line and tell you, this is something amazing. Both are great. These are to be, of course, every sharing is important, but these two today I found amazing. Thank you. Wonderful. Thank you for Dr. Chidambaram remembering my quote. Nothing is impossible. Nothing is impossible. And also never give up also. Now Ramesh's story. Never give up. It's impossible. Wonderful.
Probably the back of the mind was the quote which of yours, which was working.
Yeah.
It's
amazing.
Along with the meditation, even these quotes really help.
Yeah. No, that's true. That's right. Otherwise, what will happen? My own story, how it started was, they said nothing is impossible. It's not possible. You are taking up a task which is not possible. That even my boss, when he asked me to take up this, I said nothing is impossible. I told my people nothing is impossible. All the police officers in Madras came to the airport to receive me, CB officers. Why do you take it up? I said nothing is impossible. With that, we started. That's why Dr. Abdul Kalam, when he released my book, I said, I like this paragraph, nothing is possible. That's my philosophy also. You have proved it, Ramesh. What a
Thank you.
great thing. I
Yeah,
admire
all
you.
with your inspiration, and you're the role model, you,
No,
SVV
no,
sir, Dr. Ramani,
amazing. No,
you're all
you're
the role
all,
models actually.
the students are lucky to have a mentor like you. You know, you felt like taking it to the students. These are all great initiative, you know. Instead of telling, I'm happy, I'm peaceful. No, you said you were anxiety to share it with others. Same with Chandra also. Chandra Advani, you know, lot of efforts because they want to share it. Like it's all started with the Master Patriji. There's no need for him. Even now he's traveling. In spite of all our advice, he said nothing. The fearlessness, fear only will create the virus. He's traveling all the time. That's the purpose of life. Is I must be happy, but I must make as many others happy as possible during my lifetime. That's a great goal.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Sardar.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your comment. That's now our session. Now our session is full with your comments. Thank you all.